Hello everyone. So I initially planned on having recorded me putting this on and figuring out the papers for this journal from Louise W. Designs, the mixtapes. I love the 80s. So I ended up not being able to film. My battery died on my camera. So I have a cute little envelope in here, lots of coffee dyed paper, pages from a yearbook. This is just a dyed paper that I had, and I decided to add in some more dyed paper, music paper, some watercolored pages I thought would be nice in it. This is an old design or pattern paper, again, 1980s yearbook. And I kind of go with that pattern all the way across into our middle page. So that is how I decided to do this. And it seems to have a very big space here, so I gotta figure out a way to shorten that space just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take this and line it right up against here. And then I'm going to find my handy dandy very sharp piece here, and I'm gonna angle it this way so I'm not gonna accidentally get myself with it as easily. So you press down and it's supposed to cut them pieces that you want cut. Now I might be going across here a couple times just to make sure. I get my pages pretty well cut anyways. And again, I'm just taking some of these pieces off. And I'm going to cut again. Again, this is just to create more of the ability to have all my pages line up. And some of them might rip. That's okay. Again, I'm just trying to get this as aligned as possible. So they are matching up with the rest of this. And that's, again, one of them things that you got to work on throughout. Let's try it. I'm going to use one other tool with you guys just to see if it would make any difference or not. And completely forgot what this is called too, but same idea. Yeah, I don't like this one. Did more ripping of the paper than it did anything. I'm just wondering why it isn't staying up. Yeah, it just collapses almost immediately. Okay, we're going back to this. And I can't seem to get them last two pieces where I want them, so I'm gonna take my scissors and cut them down. Them pieces that I wanted cut down accordingly. Sometimes you gotta do that in order to make your pages fit the journal. Not all the time, but sometimes. So this makes it so it will fit the journal just a little bit better. Isn't that, yeah, so much different just by having that little bit. Now I'm gonna bind it. And that means I clip each side. Oh, that one's difficult to open up. So let's use a different one. Then I'm going to add in this, which I use my awl here to just poke my holes quick. And I normally try to stick with my thumb. I stick it right here and decide where to poke based off of that. I know some people are exact and they use measurements and everything. I'm not that type of person. Like, I know what I can and can't do, and that's just one of them that I just don't care to do. Now this bright blue, which I think would look beautiful with this. So 1, 2, 3. This is waxed thread. I like to use waxed thread. I sometimes use baker's twine or regular twine too, but I like using my waxed thread when I can. That's why. Did it the wrong way. Me wondering why the heck it was looking weird. You go from the middle to your edge, and then I hold onto this piece. And then you go from what the heck's going on here? See, I'm normally not one to use bubble wrap type pieces, so me using this bubble wrap is making me lose where it's supposed to be poked. So sometimes you got to use your awl to find that right spot. Ha. And I still didn't get the right spot, but it got close enough to that hole that I just made the hole bigger. That happens too. Now I'm gonna push this one through here. And I'm just struggling all the way through with these pieces. I don't know exactly why, but this was definitely a struggle compared to my norm. Again, I normally use fabric for my journals. I don't normally use the textured idea or anything else like that, but definitely different than my norm. So I'm thinking if I have an interesting color that could go down the side here. Just something fabric-y. And that's what I think is going to happen, this piece. Oh, that ain't going to work. So, you don't have to have, again, things perfect. Sometimes imperfection is just as great as perfection in this case. I think this pattern is interesting and diverse, just like the cover is. I like this idea. And this cover also has a pocket within it, which I was thinking about taking a piece of fabric to this from this part just around it. I don't know. I could be a very bad idea. We'll see. I don't have to make that decision right now. All I want to do right now is add our piece of fabric to this. So, we're going to do that first. So, I recently found out through lots of fiddling around trying to find stuff that I like instead of what other people like when it comes down to TV shows and stuff like that. And I found this cool one where the CW goes off and makes it so you can watch movies and etc. or TV shows and stuff that they, like WB and stuff, and they had this wonderful TV show called Rain that used to be on Netflix, and I started watching it on Netflix and couldn't finish it because Netflix quit having it. Well, you can watch it free on CW, and they have an app and everything for like Roku or like smart TVs and that type of thing. That has definitely been a game changer for me. So with this title page of I Love the 80s and everything, I got the mixtape from a page, I got this from a different page, and I also used glossy accent on certain parts of it, so like the mixtape itself and the I Love the 80s I went off and used glossy accent with, just to add a little something to this. So now that this is all done, we're gonna wait and let this dry so we can add more or do more with this journal. Now, I'm not sure what I want to do here. I may just leave it like this. I think this is cute and allows whomever gets this journal a chance to have a little play themselves. And I like the part that this part is like ripped and everything, because it just gives it a raggedy, like a grungy look, like the 80s grunge there. So I'm okay with that. I think having a little bit of 80s grunge is a good thing for this. That's kind of why I did this kind of cover. So yeah, again, let's just do another flip through. Isn't that awesome? And this kind of goes with that page, don't it? Except it's a different mixtape. So again, I'm just doing a quick walkthrough, making sure all the pages are secure in this journal. And we'll probably do many walkthroughs of this journal when we're all done and through with this journal, but that's okay. Again, that's how you figure out if your pages are gonna sit okay and that type of thing. I think we might end up making a writing board for this journal, just because then it's something to hard to write on, rather than, because it is bubble, like this is an old it was a bubble wrap type piece. Oh, that didn't work. Like this. So it's bubble wrap in the inside. The Muline bubble wraps from Amazon or whatever, wherever you're, like this one came from scrapbook.com. That's what I used to make this cover, so it's okay. And I'm alright with this little bit hanging off. I know some people are rather particular about that. I do not like this itty bitty piece hanging off it though. But where it's just a little bit above the journal, I'm okay with that. Same with it's just a little bit below, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be, again, pristine, because it is a little bit of a smaller journal. So again, we'll see where we get to, what we're going to use to wrap around it and everything. I do have some boho in here, or one of my jean clusters might work around it. I don't know. We'll see. Again, there's many ways to make a closure. So we'll go on with making this. I am gonna try making ephemera to go with it with you guys as I go. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out Louise's shop, Louise W Designs, on Etsy. I do have the link down below for this particular digital, and I hope you have a great day or night. Bye.